we are going to see about Datalink layer protocol types. So there are two Datalink layer protocols which we are going to see right now. So in this go back end protocol, how the sender will send the data and how the receiver is going to receive the data. So we are using a model of pattern to explain this particular go back end model. So in this, what we are considering 5 senders: S1, S2, S3, S4, S4, S5. So 5 students, please raise your hands. These are all the sender students. S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. So these students are having frames F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 frames. So on the other side, receiver side. So again we are having receivers, 5 receivers as students. R1, R2, R3, R4. So frame. So if you are looking frame in the sense, so in frame it consists of data. So from sender to receiver, how these frames will be transferred. So when we are considering go back and protocol method, generally what it will happen. So S1 will transfer the data to R1, S2 will transfer the data to R2, S3 will transfer the data to R3, S4 will transfer the data to R4, S5 will transfer the data to R5. So each and every transfer, receiver will send the acknowledgement signal to the S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S5. So in certain cases, in this protocol method, a particular receiver, for example R3 is not receiving the frame 3. The sender is S3. In case it is not received in the sense, what will happen? The receiver will say the data is not received. The data is not received. It means that, so at this moment what will happen? The data from the buffer, again it will be retransmitted to the R3. Not only the S3 data, all data from S3, S4, S5, all these things, this data will be, all these things will be again retransmitted to R3, R4 and R5. So that is the case. So now let us have a look how our students are going to do this. So S1 is going to transfer the data.
S1 sending to R1.
Now S2.
S2 sending F2 to R2. F2.
2 Protocol. The second type is selective hybrid protocol. So in this selective hybrid protocol, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, then again R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Again frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5. So in this case, from the center 1, frame 1 will be transmitted to R1. This frame 1 will be visible here. Then again, the frame 2, again this will be sent from S2 to R2. Frame 2 will be visible. Then F3 from S3, and again F3 will be visible here. Right? Then F4 from S4 we are sending to R4. For example, if it is not received by R4, what will happen? That is the case which we are seeing. That the F5 from S5 it is going to be transmitted to R5. The F5 will be received. So in such cases, S4 data that is F4, this particular frame is not received by R4. So how this can be handled? Only this particular selective center S4 frame only, again that will be repeated for the retransmission process. So now our students take a look to start from the data transfer. Again we will give the centers. The center starts to S1. Yes. Yes. Yes, please. Yes. Yes. S2 is not acknowledged. Please go ask. Yes. See, S4, what it says is it's not received the data. So again, just so not received in the sense, yes, S4 is going to send the retransmitted data from its buffer. So now the retransmission process. Yes, please. So now explain, tell me about two all data conversion cases. R1 receive, R2 R3. Then now the center status. Yes. Yes. So now at this moment, only a selective particular center only needs to retransmit the data from its particular place. So that is the way which we are explaining this particular selective repeat protocol. So generally what will happen? The transmission of data, why the receiver is not able to receive the data in a sense, there are some network congestion. During network congestion, as well as the interruption of the data losses, there is some noise signals. Because of that only, the receiver is not able to receive the particular data in this particular channel. So some situation will happen at this moment. So this particular two types of protocol is able